Hello, I'd like to describe my career and give a picture of why I strongly believe that business analysis at Europa Community Services District would be a perfect fit and the next steps for my career. And to detail that, I will take you through my career and hopefully with not so much detail that it becomes overwhelming or tedious. But I do hope to show you why business analysis is a great fit for my career and why I'll do a great job at Europa Community Services District. I started life as a programmer, in junior high school, and fell in love with that. And my schoolwork um, possibly suffered because I was so focused on programming, but Uh, I enjoyed it, and I learned about a language called Visual Basic, and I learned a lot of, I learned how to be a programmer, in from a very junior level, of course. But then high school came along, and I fell in love with mathematics. I decided to become a professor of mathematics as a career. So I went into, and I also did well academically, much better than junior high school. And I managed to become co-valedictorian at a school called Canyon High School. And then I went to a college called Harvey Mudd College, again, Harvey Mudd College in Pomona, California. I studied mathematics, of course, but I also fell in love with philosophy, and that involved a lot of writing, a lot of exposition and argumentation, philosophical exposition on uh, a multitude of philosophical ideas. And I was considering going into academia as a mathematician or as a philosopher, but my late stepfather, who I love very much, he was able to talk me out of going into academia, and I appreciate that to an extent. And so I got my first job out of college as an actuarial assistant, and that was a great introduction to spreadsheets and business analysis. I should say more data analysis, because at this small actuarial consulting firm, we worked with many auto insurance companies to forecast what their rates should be to cover the losses that were expected in the following year. So I would put together a report, um, which would be given to my superior, the owner of the company. But I was able to use my writing skills from college and all those philosophy papers and marry it to this data analysis, this forecasting that we were doing. And so I also this was an introduction to business because at this company, or part of my job was looking at year-end annual reports and looking over those business figures to get a sense of what the health of the company was. Um, and so this continued, or actually didn't continue, because unfortunately my boss passed away, and it was quite sad. And so I was forced to make a decision whether to continue my actuarial career or perhaps something else. And I chose to become a professional programmer, which of course coincided with my junior high school experience. And I enjoyed it a great deal. I was working for JD Power and Associates, and that was a lot about data integrity, large data sets. We were studying customer satisfaction levels for American Honda Corporation, and there wasn't a great deal of writing for me, but or nothing of a business analysis nature, but there was data analysis and data integrity issues and making sure that the final numbers accurately reflected the the customer satisfaction surveys that we were processing. Um, After that, I went to New Orleans to work for the federal government, and I was introduced to financial reports. That was a big part of my job was exactly that, and I worked with an accountant to because he had an idea of what he wanted in the for his financial analysis that he was doing for the federal government. From there, I uh, segued into software development, which complemented my computer languages ability and also allowed me to work with user interfaces and build user interfaces. And is something that I enjoyed marrying the visual aspects of the user interface with the code behind the which of course I was familiar with. So it was a good choice for me, and that much of my career, or actually most of my career, was in software development. And as far as my industry was concerned, the industry I was working in, there was a mix of companies, but there were two corporate healthcare corporations, and when I say healthcare, I mean health plan management corporations. And so one was called Caramore, and the other one was called Alignment. And at those companies, I worked very closely with departmental managers and end users to make sure that the software was achieving a business purpose, but I was also user friendly and visually um, simplified and intuitive. When COVID came along, um, excuse me, I'd like to mention that as part of my software development, I would often document the user interface. Not always, because sometimes half the time I would have someone serving as a business analyst, either by name or in a unofficial capacity, but they would present me with the software specifications. But the other half of the time, I would uh, create the software. I would make the design of the application, and then I would provide documentation to the end user, so that the writing the documentation coincided very nicely with my technical writing skills. Um, so, and just while I'm thinking of it, I'd like to mention that my stepfather was a technical writer. So, out of my respect and admiration for him, um, I've been fairly conscious of technical writing as a a skill worth pursuing. Then COVID came along, and it was very challenging working remotely. I was kind of ripped out of the office environments, and to me, I lost a great deal of personal interaction with my colleagues and my clients, and so that was very difficult for me. So I decided to take a career break. Uh, and luckily, I made the wise choice to go back to school. I went to a community college called Orange Coast College, and I was able to take a host of computer science courses, business courses, accounting courses. And to me, that has expanded my view of my career and has enabled me to see even though I was already familiar with the corporate environments and the regulatory environments that I faced at the healthcare companies, um, and the fact that I was often a liaison to various third-party rating systems. Um, one is called HEDIS, which is very important, and I would often present our company's data methodologies and data integrity um, procedures. But taking business classes at Orange Coast College helped me to, I should say, business and accounting helped me to have a fuller picture of how uh, businesses operate in a regulatory environment. And so I think that I'm very well situated to be a business analyst at Europa Community Services District. Be thank, Thankfully, thanks to my work experience, my education, my attitude of lifelong learning, the fact that I was able to take the business and accounting courses, and with my background in technical writing as well. I think together, to me, it's a perfect fit. It's like a jigsaw puzzle coming together. So, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about my career.